everyone, it's Amelia from Polk County Public Libraries, and today I'm going to show you how to make this month's Teen Take and Make Craft Kit, which is a rainbow macrame keychain. You can stop at the Columbus or Saluda Library anytime this month and pick up a free kit with the supplies to make this activity at home. Inside your kit, you've got all of the materials that you need to make this really cute rainbow keychain. And we're going to walk through those. So you should have a key ring that has a little chain on it. You should have one jump ring, and it's already open for you. Should have beads of some sort. This kit had a star bead in it. A square of felt. You have some rope. And then you have your 3 different colors of yarn that you're going to use to make your rainbow. From home, you will need a ruler, masking tape, and a hot glue gun if you have one. If you don't have a hot glue gun, Elmer's glue will work, but we're going to use this at the very end to attach the felt to the back of your keychain. Ta-da! Just to kind of give it a solid base. And hot glue works best. Elmer's glue will work in a pinch, but I recommend using hot glue if you haven't. Alright, I'm going to push some of our materials out of the video frame because the first thing that we need to do is measure our cotton rope. So this is 5mm cotton rope, and it is pretty thick. And we're going to cut it into 3 layers. So you've got 1, 2, 3 layers here. And I'm going to use my, excuse me, I'm going to use my ruler to measure. Your longest rope, which is going to be your outermost layer, on my example it's the purple layer, is going to be 7¼ inches. So you're going to measure from the start of your ruler all the way to 7¼ also need scissors. Make sure you have some scissors with you. So there's my first rope. And I'm going to need the second layer of my rainbow, and that's going to be 6½ inches. So 6½. And the second layer, you can see that it's a little bit shorter. There we go. Perfect. And then your final rainbow arch is 5½ inches. Okay, so you should have 3 different lengths here. You can also tailor them, cut them down a little bit. That is 6½. This is 7¼ so we're all good there. And to keep our ends from fraying while we're working on our project, we're going to tape them with masking tape. And eventually we will want them to fray, but it just makes working with the project a lot easier if you go ahead and you tape them up. So I'm going to get some masking tape and tape up the end. This is also going to help you to know where to stop your colored yarn so that you have enough on the end of your rainbow to fray the edges. And stick. Okay. Go ahead and do that on one side for all of them. And one more. Okay. Next, you're going to start with your longest cord, and we're going to pick the color that we're going to use. My example uses purple on the outside, but my coworker's favorite color is hot pink, so I want to make her one that has the arch that's hot pink, so I'm going to pick that color first. Pull that out of your yarn. Okay, we're going to use that. You can get rid of the ruler and the other things just for right now, set everything aside, and even go ahead and set aside your other 2 cords. So we've got plenty of room to work. Take a piece of masking tape. This works best if you have a clipboard. I don't have a clipboard for the purpose of this video, but if you have a clipboard, that works really well. You're going to secure the top down to the table or the clipboard. And then you're going to take your yarn and tie a knot right up at the edge of that masking tape. You're going to tie a square knot, so you're going to tie it 1 time and 1 more time. Leave the tail on it because we're going to actually make the tail part of the rainbow. And you are just going to circle your yarn. You don't have to tie knots or anything. You're just going to circle that cotton cord. You're going to pull it kind of tight and make sure that every time, ooh, shaky cam, every time you take the yarn around the cord, you're going to make sure that it touches the yarn that was before it. Okay? Let's see if I can zoom in on that. Move the camera just a little bit. There we go. You can kind of see it. There we go. So I'm going to do this again. And you do that all the way down till you get to the very end of your cord. So do all 7 1/4 inches. And then I'll show you the next step. Great, this is what your first arch of your rainbow is going to look like when you're all finished. I still have the masking tape on both ends. And I've hot glued over the last knot that I tied. This will be covered up by the felt later, so you won't even see it, but I just like to put it there. And then on this arch, you're going to want to go ahead and put on your jump ring. So use a pair of needle nose pliers if you have them to kind of open that up a little bit more. It's going to go right in the middle of your archway. And try to center this as much as possible because it's difficult to move afterwards because it's in the middle of all the yarn. And we're going to lace on the keychain and close the jump ring. And you just squeeze it back together to close the jump ring. Just like that. You can go ahead and kind of bend it into an arch, and we're going to start the second piece of our arch. So pick up the second longest. This is going to be your 6 1/2 inch long piece of cord, and decide what color you want that arch to be. I think I'm going to do purple color next. Maybe blue. I'll do blue. Blue will be next. You're going to tie it on just like you did the first arch. Use the masking tape to hold it down. Wrap it all the way around that cord. And then we'll do the third piece. Okay, so all 3 archways on my rainbow are complete, and I have taken hot glue and hot glue them together. When you do this, if you'll put the hot glue on towards the back of each arch, then your hot glue will only come through, if at all, on the back side. And the back side is what we're getting ready to cover up with your felt. Notice I still have on my masking tape. This is just going to make life easier while we glue this on. So you'll lay your rainbow on your felt. Make sure it will fit, so whether you have to lay it horizontally or vertically, just pay attention to that. And go ahead and line up, if you can, the edge of your rainbow to the edge of your felt. That'll just make it easier when you're cutting. You can see it won't work on this side for me, but on this side will definitely make life easier. Alright, so I'm going to take my hot glue, going to lay it on my felt. This is where you determine how much of an arch you want in your rainbow, because you can make it wider or taller. Okay. Any of the spider webs that are left over after using the hot glue you can pull off later. So we'll let that dry and we'll cut around the edge of your felt. So your felt is just giving you a base for your pieces to lay on. And you can hot glue on the beads that were in your kit. Either way, put your star on there, or you can just leave the star off. And now you can take off the masking tape that's on the bottom of your cord and fray it out. You'll just fray it using your fingers.